What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Little Scale Cars YouTube channel for a review that feels like we've done this before, but we actually haven't. It's the Porsche 917K, an all-new casting of this car from Hot Wheels, debuting in the recent vintage racing car culture set. Is this one going to be worth adding to your collection? Should you replace your old ones with this new one? Let's take a closer look and find out. We get things started by looking at our casting here. And proportionally speaking, it's certainly better than the old casting, I think. It definitely sits nice and low to the ground, looking solid. I can't help but feel it's still a little bit too short. Like, it just needs to be pulled out just a touch longer. But I could just be a crazy person there. I don't have a fully premium version of this car to compare that with to get a 100% answer on that. But we'll kind of compare it to the real-life car there, and you can kind of be the judge. Overall, it's definitely solid, and it is significantly better than the old casting, that is for certain. So, when we actually break this casting down here, everything you're going to see painted in this kind of light golf blue coloration, that is going to be your main die-cast body with a few little standouts. So this little piece here, that is going to be your interior bit poking through, and then this little noogie right there, this little noogie right there, those are also going to be your interior that are poking through. Interesting choices there. Flipping the model over, and you will see that we do have a metal base, and it is actually very nicely detailed. I am a big fan of the intricacy that they went for on this base. I think it looks really nice, very solid there. When we actually kind of look at the main model itself, all your body lines replicated quite nicely here. Very, very good to see. Just a little bit above and beyond what the old casting did for sure. But it doesn't completely ignore everything either. It looks very solid. This little cutout here, good, and has some texturing inside of it. No plastic headlights. We actually get like metal covering here, and then they just tampoed the headlights on. I actually think that that works better in this particular instance. So on the whole, the cast is done very, very nicely. Paint and deco. So we get things started with probably the most iconic coloration that this car runs with, and it is the Golf number 20. Very, very solid here. I will say, if I bring in the old version, the old casting with this deco on it, you'll notice that the two colorations of blue are a little bit different. I feel like this one is more realistic, but I feel like this one looks a little bit better. That's just my personal opinion, though. This is the only release of the casting so far, and I think as far as replicating the real-life deco, they actually did a really nice job. It's nice, simple, clean, and looks pretty solid. Moving into the detail category, let's get a closer look. And we'll start right here, where we have our headlights. They are just tampos, so they do look a little bit flat. However, I think that they actually came out pretty solid, and I like that overall that they did that. We get some little intakes here that get some tampo work. Like I said, this little piece here is actually like a cutout, and it has some texturing in it. I'm assuming that texturing is a part of the base. Front intake thing, main casted basically just into the main body. Not a lot of detailing or anything going on, but enough there to kind of give the illusion that it's like kind of a cutout or something like that in the real life car. These vents up here, texturized in very nicely, casted quite nice. Coming down to the sides here, you get these 5-spoke wheels, which actually replicate the real-life wheels pretty closely. Like, I can't really complain. I don't love the deep dish look of them, as you can see right there. But I for some reason, I feel like the real-life race car wasn't too far off of that either. So, again, I can't really complain too much about them overall. Detailing down the side here, pretty solid, but nothing too crazy. When we get into the back here, you'll get the brake lights here. You get an extra tire kind of casted in on this particular version. You get your Golf Porsche right there and a few other little minor details. Very solid. Coming up to the top here, all of this gets some actually nice tampo work going on. So you get this piece, which the old casting kind of worked its way in like this too. This was the interior piece on that casting, but you get some tampo work on top of it now, which really kind of just goes above and beyond and makes it look that much better. Because on the actual interior, you get what you expect from Hot Wheels Premium, the nice molded plastic, but nothing else. Moving into the roll test, not really a surprise that it rolls, and it rolls very smoothly. It is a Hot Wheels model at the end of the day. Putting this one on the scale, it comes out to be 45.58 grams. So, you know, pretty typical, pretty solid for what you would expect from a Hot Wheels Premium, all things considered. Pros and cons, starting with our pros. The biggest pro is that this is leaps and bounds better than the old casting from Hot Wheels. They made some absolutely massive improvements on this particular car, so that is definitely a good thing. The other big pro I'm going to say is the engineering of the casting itself. So it's been done quite nicely, executed quite nicely. There's some changes to that old casting that I like. I still like that this piece is a piece of the interior, and they actually gave it some tampo work. I really like the whole new like back section here going on. That's a big plus. I like that those little like pins are sticking up through the model that are either a piece of the interior or the base. I think they're the interior though. I just really like the way that this was executed. When it comes to the cons, there's some things that I don't love, but they're not bad enough that I would call them a con. So the proportions on this one are probably pretty accurate, but for some reason it still looks like it's too short, and I can't quite place that. Maybe it's just an optical illusion created by something, but I'm not confident enough in that fact to say that it's actually a con. So I'm going to go ahead and say there's no real cons. So for some size comparisons, here we have it with some other notable Hot Wheels castings. With the old Hot Wheels Porsche 917K casting right there, and you can definitely see some differences there for sure. And then I also paired it with the Porsche 962 casting. And here we have it with some true 1/64 scale premium Porsche racing machines with the Porsche 911 GT1, the 1998 version of that. That one from Trends Hobby. And then we have the Spark Porsche 963 LMDH hypercar over here on your right. So with all that being said, is this one going to be worth adding to your collection? Going to be replacing all of your old models? Let's find out. So does this one live up to the hype? The hype has actually been quite high because I think a lot of people were just kind of not impressed with that old casting. That casting was legitimately old. Like I think it came out in the late 90s. So yeah, it was definitely showing its age for sure. Maybe I'm way off on that. For some reason, I feel like it might have been an early 2010s casting. Doesn't matter. That casting was old and dookie. This new one is much better, and it absolutely lives up to the expectations and the hype. Value for your money. So this one is a car culture release. It's going to run you about $7 to $8, which is actually pretty good. It's pretty solid, all things taken into account there. There's not a lot of premium brands that have done this. I think Spark has done it, and they haven't released one in a while. So this is probably going to be an easy way to get it to your collection too for a decent price. For the feedback, I have seen nothing but praise on this one. I haven't really even seen too many quality control issues either, so that seems to be a big plus. There's a few people that would have preferred the plastic headlights. I will call those people crazy people personally, because I think that the tampo execution was just done a lot nicer, and it just works a little bit better here. But that as a whole, the feedback, very positive. So taking all that into account, am I going to recommend this one to you? Most likely, for a couple reasons. First off, it's the best 917K that's out there right now for a decent price. Like I said, Spark has this model, but they haven't released it in a while, and prices are starting to get a little crazy on that one. So if you can find this one in the stores for like the $8, $7 price tag, absolutely 100% worth it. If you have to go to a diecast show and maybe spend like $10 on it, still probably worth it. I wouldn't go too much higher than that because Spark will most likely be releasing this one for like the $15 price point at some point, and that'll be a lot more detailed than this. But all things considered, this one is still a very good pickup for most collectors. Alrighty guys, that will wrap up this review. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like the video, share it with your friends, be sure to subscribe if you have not done that already, and don't forget to leave a comment down below that lets me know your thoughts on this particular model, and I will see you guys in the next video.